It's up.
Welcome. And welcome to the show. I'm your host, Joey Wobbs. That is Egal, not Mr. Link today. Mr. Link today has had some family issues that he needed to be taken care of. So big up, everyone. Wish him the best. He has some things that that came up that were really serious. So just everyone wish him the best. I have Egal today for Wabbslink, and Joey's going to be going live a lot more. I'm kind of getting back into the YouTube grind, just kind of getting back into life in general. I had a lot of things going on, so I'm just happy that I'm kind of back into the swing of things. I'm going to probably go live after the game tomorrow because I'm not going to be going live at 5:30 in the morning. So with that early kickoff, which doesn't make any sense why it's an early kickoff, to be honest with you. You're muted, Egal, if you're talking to me.
The reason is because you played on Tuesday,
right?
And Newcastle, and you're sorry. The reason why it's on that day is because there's 8 games on that day.
Right, but why is it early kickoff? Like, why is the two teams that played midweek in early kickoff? It actually doesn't make any sense.
Because Arsenal also played midweek, and they're there. Crystal Palace also played on Thursday, so they're playing.
You didn't play midweek?
Yeah, we. Oh no, we were supposed to, but it got moved.
Yeah, to the 23rd.
The reason why ours got moved to the Saturday night because it was originally on Sunday, but because they rescheduled the Arsenal Crystal Palace game, Everton then rescheduled our game with us for the Sunday. So our game was originally supposed to be on Sunday. It got moved to Saturday because we play on Tuesday.
Yeah, it's still, like, to me, it still doesn't connect with me that why the two teams that played midweek. I'm sure that there's 2 teams that didn't play midweek that could have played early kickoff. Like that. Newcastle's supposed to be Newcastle played.
Bro, you basically played your B team. It's not the big deal.
No, not for me. It's not, because we're going to talk about the Newcastle game here in a second, right? We're going to talk about the Newcastle game here in a second. I want to explain to you why it's a big deal for them specifically.
But how many players who started in the game versus Cardiff are going to play in the game versus Newcastle?
Caicedo. But that's not my point. I'm not worried about Chelsea. I'm talking about for Newcastle. Why is it early kickoff? Because in the end, they have a ton of injuries to their backline. Like, I don't know if you've seen their injury list on their backline, but it's like Botman, both Lewis Hall and Livramento are out. I think Lascelles is also out. Trippier is out, and Dan Burns out. So, like, literally their entire back line that played played midweek is going to have to play again at the weekend. So, like,
TV rights?
Probably. I think that's probably it. But, like, still, I would assume that they would do something about, like, based off of, flex it for NFL terms. You know what I'm saying? Flex it into the later window. Like,
but they can't flex the TNT game. It's either 12:30 or 8 o'clock. But 8 o'clock, there's 2 Sky Sports games on. So you can't have a Sky Sports game at the same time as a BT Sports game.
Okay, that makes sense. Hey, everyone, appreciate you guys joining us in the chat. We appreciate you. Natalie, Takori, Ator, we appreciate you rolling through.
And then don't forget, the 3 o'clock kickoffs are not on TV in the UK.
Oh, that makes actually a lot of sense, too. So, like, the TV rights for this early game is probably for one network.
So 5:30 is the other TV slot. That is Spurs at home versus Liverpool.
Which is the big game of the week. Right. All right. That makes more sense.
8 o'clock.
Thank you for explaining that to me, because that makes more sense.
Everton, Arsenal, and Leeds and Crystal Palace are playing at 8 o'clock because we both face each other on Tuesday.
Okay.
So just to make it even, they have us both playing 8 o'clock on Saturday. So there's really nowhere to put your game to make it.
Anyways, I jumped to this. Right. How are you, my brother? I haven't talked to you in a minute. How are you doing?
I have had a severe illness to the point where I could not speak. So I was in and out of YouTube for the last couple of weeks.
Okay. You feeling better now, though? Sounds like you're feeling better.
My throat still hurts, but I'm gonna live, so I'll survive. It is what it is. You know what it is? I'm used to people just bashing me on the internet. It was nice to have a couple of days away from all the bullshit.
Well, you know that's not how this conversation goes with me. So, like,
I don't expect you to be an asshole.
Yeah, like that's just not how it goes with me. I will rebuttal to you, but I'm not gonna.
You know the funny thing is, me and you, first time we met, we were yelling at each other.
Mm-hmm. I've also grown as an individual since then, personally. I would say. Hey. But yeah, I enjoy the conversation when we actually get to have conversations. I think that's part of the reason why I don't enjoy doing the panels anymore, is because I'm not having conversations. Like, I'm just like sitting here listening to people bash each other over and over and over again. I like to have conversations. Like, I noticed, just for instance, like I watch you and Potts's one-on-one all the time, right? But it gets to be a conversation. You know what I'm saying? It gets to have
a panel show.
Yeah, where I get my 2 cents in, and then it's bashing the entire time. And I like to be tactical. You know that. I like to speak tactics. So I'm not going to get to speak tactics in a panel show. Like, they'll just laugh at me. They'll try to call me names and shit. I don't just have time for it. I just literally don't have time for it.
One thing I never do is go back and look at comments for a video that I just did, because I know 90% of the people who comment do not bring any nuance or actual, like.
To me, it's not the comments anymore. Like, that part of it's not even an issue. I don't have an issue with the comments. I have an issue with the way that our conversations are going. I like to have conversations that have nuance and have context, and it has that doesn't get to happen on a panel show. And I'm just okay with
something. You have a choice. You have a choice. You either ignore the nonsense and you just speak only when you feel like something's valuable, or you become an asshole. And unfortunately, I feel like I've become an asshole.
I mean, sometimes you have to, though, you have to defend yourself. Like, that's just the reality. Like, you have to defend yourself. And a lot of the times it's defending your own takes, which is fine. But like you have to defend yourself, because it feels like.
I feel like with Arsenal fans, they make it very personal. It's like everything is about, like, I don't see Chelsea fans sitting here saying, "Oh, because you're supporting the team, you're this or you're that, or you're sexual this or sexual that."
There is a little bit of that, especially with, like, if you're supporting Blue Coat too much, or if you support Enzo Maresca too much. Like, it literally, they get a little bit like that, bro. So let's get into some conversation here,
This is the difference between North American mentality and British mentality. I feel like in North American sports, they kind of understand the business side of things a little bit more, and their understanding of certain things, and they understand that you're the Lakers, but you're not going to win every year. Mm-hmm. Where here, there's a level of entitlement where it doesn't matter. There's 7 teams that think they should win everything every year. Yeah. And it's like, not all 7 of you are going to win everything every year.
Yeah, that's the reality. That's the reality. But Bayern, Barcelona, it's the expectation, though. It's the expectation of it all.
You can have expectations.
Here's the problem, I think, in the reality of it all. Yeah, if you want my honest opinion between like the North American sports fan versus the UK sports fan, they've just never been in the trenches, dude. That's the reality. Like, bro, I'm a Knicks fan. You're a Toronto fan in general, right? Like if you just put those 2 teams in general and just in a perspective, right? Like, you got to see 1 title in your lifetime in Toronto. I've never seen a title for the Knicks. At least I have the Kansas City Chiefs in my lifetime that have given me something. But it took our entire lives to get those. Do you see what I'm saying? Because not in those leagues, there's only 1 trophy in 30 teams. There's only 1.
Now there's 2 in the NBA. You just
won. It's okay. I'm not gonna I'm not a big supporter.
Do you treat it like the Carabao Cup?
What?
Do you treat it like the Carabao Cup?
Yeah, of course I did. I like the cup idea. I just think it won't be liked until 10 years from now. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it will be like supported as it needs to be supported until 10 years from now. But that's the thing is they've just never been in the trenches, bro. They never had to see something be built. They grew up, Arsenal was good. When they grew up, Chelsea was good. They grew up, Man United was good. See them City fans, they seen what we seen. They saw the trenches.
But now they never have to see it again.
Yeah, that's the thing.
So there's a whole set of
there's no droppage to you need the first round draft pick. You know,
but there's a whole set of new fans now.
Sorry?
There's a whole set of new City fans now who are entitled that clash with their old fan base.
Of course. And that's just the reality of it.
Yeah.
That's just the reality of this sport specifically.
I hear it. They've never been in the trenches. Mm-hmm. And another thing, there is a way to play entitlement also. And I don't think you have that in other sports. The football basically saying you can't have negative tactics or else you're anti-football is such a weird way of thinking. If you're not better than me and I can only beat you by playing defensive, I'm going to play defensive. Now, I'm not saying Arsenal having to play defensive versus every team in the league. That's illogical. But I'm saying like,
but if you're let me
give you the perfect example. Getafe in Spain. People are literally saying relegate Getafe because what they're doing is not
because it's not Spanish football. It's not Spanish football. That's what it is. It's not how Spanish football is. It is supposed to be. You see how Lee Gunners talks about Spanish football? Because it's supposed to be free flowing. But Getafe is the outlier to it. You see what I'm saying? And let's use Arsenal, for example. Like you said it great. You know what the one thing I don't like what people say with you guys? Why does everyone have to play low block against us? I hate when you guys say that. Because you want to know what
I understand.
It's a respect thing. If you want to put it into perspective, they respect you. So yes, they gotta play low block. Like that's it.
If they don't, what happens? 7-1 like PSV.
Bro, why do you think Chelsea? Who plays up for free flowing football? PSG, Barcelona. What happened when they saw Chelsea try to play free flowing football?
What happened?
We busted their ass. So now when other teams
I think they disrespected you in that final, to be fair.
So now when other teams come in, they're gonna play a back five against us because they know we weak against them. We can't break down a back five. Teams that don't play back five, they come in, they play back fives against Chelsea. I
have a theory. Chelsea, the way you guys play and the way that PSG play, it's almost like you're their kryptonite, right? Mm-hmm. The way that we play, the way that they play, I feel like they're our kryptonite. And then the funny thing is when we face each other, we even each other out. Or you could say at times we beat you. So it's like
that's just based off of clinicalness though in the end. Because like in those games, it wasn't like you guys beat us because like I'm talking about with Enzo Maresca specifically, right? It's not like because you beat us because you guys had better chances or more chances, I would say. It was probably quite an even game from my memory, but you had the one clinical edge moment more than we did, right? Like that's just how that type of game goes against us. And like that's just how, like for a rivalry game, that's what you should expect, right?
But
like
I also do think they slightly disrespected your wing backs, your fullbacks, because they didn't track them. Where when they're facing teams with known wing backs or known fullbacks, like if they were facing Liverpool, like when they were facing Liverpool, they tracked Trent. They didn't let him breathe. But when it was Liverpool, when it was you guys, they're like, yeah, let Cucurella do what he's doing. Then they find him in the box and they're like, fuck, what the fuck is he doing?
Yeah. That's just that. It also like
poor game planning, I would say.
When it comes to game planning, though, with us, the problem comes down to when it comes like it's you kind of have to sacrifice a man against us when Cole Palmer is available, because like the way that you can defend Cole Palmer is if you man mark him with one guy, like you make sure one guy's chasing him, and you defend outside of him, right? Because he can just roam into spaces that can hurt you. So like what ends up happening is that you always have a guy that's gonna end up being free with us.
You know what's always worked for us?
Majority of the time, it's a fullback. Majority of the time, it's a fullback.
What I find we've done against Chelsea that's been effective is we let them have the ball out wide, and we completely just say, you're not going to play us through the middle.
I mean, that's how a lot of teams are starting to play against us right now, period, because of how many people. The way that Pep changed the game in England is that he kept adding bodies into the midfield. And that turned into, okay, like we have to match you in the midfield. Otherwise, we're gonna get outnumbered and you're gonna play through us. So like that's why I had to switch. Right, like that's why everyone's starting to move everybody into the midfield. You have done it. You've brought in fullbacks. Your 9 sometimes when it's Marino, into the midfield to be able to outnumber people and build up. Now let's talk about your team first, because I got a lot to say about my team and really the Maresca situation. I've been watching your game. I watched your game twice. The last game that you had against Villa, specifically against Villa, and I noticed the one thing that I said against us that could be replicated is how you press and cut off Zubimendi. So, like, have you noticed specifically, like, over the last couple games, even like the Sunderland game, have you noticed since our game that's been a very big emphasis over with the teams that you've played? Because I personally have. I felt like that Zubimendi has been being pressed a lot more over the last, let's say, 3 weeks or 4 weeks, and he's been struggling a little bit. Have you seen that same sentiment as I have?
By the way, since we played you, we played Brentford, we played Aston Villa, and we played Wolves.
The Brentford one, not as much, right? Because I saw that he had a lot of space in that.
The Brentford game wasn't really like.
Yeah.
It was a walk in the park. To be fair, to not be disrespectful to them, Aston Villa, they packed out the midfield. They played all their wingers, their midfielders. Everybody was in there. They had 5 midfielders. They went 4-5-1 basically. 4-5-1, and with a 4-5-1, it's a situation where Zubimendi has no space, Rice has no space, Odegaard has no space. We had Eze in the left wing to help out. He couldn't do much. Trossard had to come in. Moreno couldn't do much. Gyökeres had to come in, and I don't think Zubimendi had the best of games. But the main reason why I feel like we lost that game was because of the lack of composure from the back line, bro.
I know that's why you lost that game, but it would have been drop points regardless, right? Like even without that moment, it would have been drop points regardless. Like you're still looking at a draw at that moment, right?
Let me just bring it back 1 second. The back line was, I get it, we have good squad depth. I preach about how good our squad depth is all the time, but you don't want to use it to the level where you have your right back at right center back, your backup center back playing in left center back, your backup right back playing right back, and then on top of that, you now have a back line of Calafiori, Hincapié, Timber, and White with no height. The main issue I found was the ball over the top was always in play because neither Timber or Hincapié are tall, and 3 of our top 3 center backs are out. So once you start getting down to your 4th and 5th choice center back pairing, you're in a situation where you're going to be in trouble and you're not going to breed as much confidence regardless. Okay. Which means your midfield's going to drop off, which means you're not going to be able to build up as well. And I feel like the whole issue from that game stemmed from the lack of confidence in the back line and the lack of build-up play from deep.
I guess the whole thing with me with that is like I think you're right about what your sentiment is just the lack of empathy I have for it is extremely significant, because in the moments of that I'm seeing Tosin is the same realistic idea of like where you are with your backline. Like that's basically we're at our 4th center back, and playing Hato at center back would be our 5th center back, or Josh 5th or 6th center back. So like I don't necessarily have this like empathy for that situation. So like I understand what you're feeling.
Yeah, and our options are better.
Like your options are personally better than from what those are, in my opinion, right? So like I don't necessarily have like this empathy. I just understand. The thing with me is not necessarily the center backs, in my opinion, is like just like you think the ball over the top is a problem specifically, that's going to be a problem in my opinion regardless. Like I know Gabriel normally deals with a lot of those scenarios, but why is Saliba when he's in not being able to deal with those scenarios? So like that's kind of where my whole situation is with this. Is it like even if we go opposite side on Saliba long ball, that's still there. If he can't deal with it with Gabriel, without Gabriel, it's still there. Maybe it's not as potent because Gabriel can get to it, but it's still there technically. And
did Saliba play against you? No.
Also, the one thing that I saw specifically is like the man mark on the way that your center backs, and just watch this when you watch your team later, is like when you're man marking when your center backs are man marking the striker and they drop into the midfield, there's a giant gap that's right behind there. And like a lot of the times that back line doesn't follow to get it. And Gabriel's the one that pushes everyone up the pitch. Every single time that happens, someone will pin down Saliba, pull him out of position. And sometimes it's Mosquera, not Saliba. Sometimes it's Mosquera when I was watching it. And they'll pin down that center back and they'll pull him into the midfield. And that spot is just wide open because Timber's dealing with the wide area. And then Gabriel is just either whoever is in that left side center back, he normally is the person that pushes everything forward. That's why I knew Gabriel was going to be a huge, huge, huge loss. Not for headers. You score headers. You guys will score headers. But for just leadership problems. And then build-up wise with Arsenal, the one thing that I noticed build-up wise is Zubamendi has to be more brave on the ball. Like he needs to fizz the ball through to Gyökeres more often. And like him and Odegaard are just playing too many sideways passes. Just way too many sideways passes. Like that's going to be the bane of your existence. If you guys continue to play sideways and not try to be a little braver in your passing, especially if the ball has to go over the top or through, you guys could cut teams open if you guys just played Gyökeres through through in a slide mode and through in between two midfielders. But Zubamendi would rather take, I don't know if that's instruction or if that's him, but he just needs to be braver.
Zubamendi has broken open many games, including Nottingham Forest. I can't think of too many others right now.
Yeah, but I'm talking about within the last three.
But as for Odegaard has not played too much football this season. I'm not gonna really judge him too much until I see at least 5 games where he's played consistently, because he's not played consistently this entire season. He's had 3 90-minute starts.
I know, but I don't think that's in Eze's game.
What?
I just don't think that's in Eze's game. Like be able to like maybe like first time ball over the top type stuff Eze could play, but Eze's more like interchange, close quarters, passing, trying to bounce off of his striker and to score. Like
or to shoot.
Him at his best, in my opinion, is when he's playing off of Mateta, like in close quarters, kind of shadow striker-y. Like that's him at his best.
What about shooting? I just want him to shoot.
Who, Eze?
Yeah.
You got
Eze is a guy who takes shots. I'd rather have Eze be a guy at the end of chances rather than be the guy creating them.
Right, but who's going to create for him? That's my point. Who's creating for him?
I think we got enough creators in the team. I don't think the
That's
creations.
Where I would disagree. That's
I think
truly where I would disagree with you.
I don't think the chance creation is the problem. I think the finishing is the issue. Because when I look at the actual chances that we do get throughout the 90 minutes, we get opportunities, we just don't take them. And that's to me has been one of our biggest issues for the last couple of years.
All right, let's talk about it then.
And this
in
is
that
where
Everton game, what were the chances that you guys created? I watched the entire game. What were those chances you created? The Everton game, the one that you, or not the Everton, the Wolves game that you just won.
The Wolves game, Martinelli had 2 headers. Timber had
I don't think those 2 were real. I think you could consider both of them one chance. Maybe
they're wide open. They're wide open in the box. Okay.
But that's a winger. You're asking a winger to get onto a header.
Odegaard has a chance to go into the box and drive forward and take a shot. Instead, what does he do?
He passes it wide.
He shoots straight at the keeper.
I mean, that's still like, that's outside the box. The one chance I could come up with for you is
Timber.
No, Martinelli
in the box.
Yeah, but those are, in my opinion, those are all half chances. You like, even if you're not marked, bro, you have to be good at headers for you to be able to direct those the right way, especially at coming in at pace. Like the one chance that comes to mind is Martinelli beats his man on the left-hand side. He comes in, he cuts in. The ball looks like he has the option. He has 2 options. He has the option to shoot, or the Gyökeres is crashing the box on the backside. And it looks like he did a both. He tried to get it. The ball looked like it went in between Gyökeres and it went outside the post. Like, that was the one chance that I could actually think of off the top of my head that was that's a chance. That's a serious chance. Like, you should have scored that. Like, and a lot of the times it just feels like it, but a lot of the times it feels like it's the play is going this way, right? In my opinion, what you have to do to stop Rice is more physically than it is like cutting off passing lanes. So like that's like something that you can do to an extent. You can't necessarily match Rice physically, but you can do it to an extent. John McGinn, for instance, can do it to an extent where it's not necessarily going to take them totally out of the game, but it can hold them to an extent, right? Then you have Odegaard and Zubimendi, the 2 next to him, necessarily. What do those 2 players want to do? When we looked at Zubimendi early in the season, he was cutting those lines. He was getting that ball to the strike, to the top of your pyramid early, and then that was just you were creating off of it, and you were breaking teams down. Now it feels like teams are packing the midfield on you. So the ball's going this way, where he likes to normally pass it, because when we did this in the summer and we looked at his passing chart, it was very much like this, right? It was a lot of this. Mind you, team-based, so they had very strong wingers where he was. So, like, that's where the ball is going to go a lot of the times. But that's the same idea what's going on now. Now, that leaves a lot of onus on Odegaard to be able to break lines if they're not being broken from the center backs. So, like, now you're kind of in this stuck lull of that's why you're getting crosses in. Everyone's narrow. You're going to get crosses in. Everyone's narrow. But if you have 1 or 2 times where you break the lines, or you at least attempt to, teams have to spread out. And then you're just in, you have to, the manipulation of the game's not being enough. It's not being diverse enough. It's going too much to the outsides. And then if you had a little bit of diversity going interior and getting inside, the problem is the holdup of Gyökeres. So if it's going to go inside, it has to go all the way through. It has to go all the way through because it bounces off of Gyökeres too often. It's not sticking as well as it should. That's just what I've seen.
That's a technical issue from him. But as for the actual service, outside of Trossard's pass to him, can you say too many times where he actually had good service in that game?
Gyökeres?
Yeah.
No, there's not too great of service to him.
So that's all I gotta say. Anyway,
I mean that's what I'd say for originally. I didn't put this on Gyökeres. I brought Gyökeres up now. Like right now, I brought it up. But what I first said was Zubimendi has to be braver. Odegaard has to be braver in breaking the lines. If that's what I said. That's what I said.
Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Why are all the strikers doing poor? Because Isak is very much
well, not all of them.
Why is Sesko underperforming? Why is Isak underperforming? Why are all these forwards underperforming?
Well, do you want me to start with Isak or Sesko?
Do you think it's just because the style of team that they went from to the style of team that they're in now?
Once again, would you like me to start with Isak or Sesko?
Isak.
With Isak, I think it's a little bit of everything. It's this is a guy he's still injured. Like he's still injured. He's still not healthy. Like you watch him, he does not look healthy. Like he's just not. He's not in. And this was part of the problem with buying Isak to begin with. Part of it was this guy. You get him fit, you're good for a good minute until you're not. That's why he was never worth 120 million to any of us, in my opinion. But that's the reality of it. That's why you have a fit player in Hugo Ekitike who is capable of doing similar types of things and doing well. Isak is being A, lazy, in my opinion, when he's playing, and B, he's not fit. Now, Sesko, I would agree 100% stylistically it doesn't fit. But I thought potentially that you two would have had each other's strikers in the end, which was my assumption to begin with because I thought stylistically it probably would have been better.
You know something? Isak does not get cooked enough compared to what Gyökeres has to deal with on a regular basis.
I mean,
I see way more criticism.
Media darlings in Liverpool. That's Liverpool and Manchester United have media darlings. Darlings.
I'm not even gonna lie to you. Man United are not media darlings. They get cooked on a regular, but the level of cooking that Arsenal gets on a regular basis
compared they spend a lot of money on Sesko. I haven't heard much about it.
True, Sesko's not spoken about.
I mean,
bro, Cunha.
You want to know what it is, Miguel? Though, bro, part of it for Arsenal is.
Cunha has been shit too.
Agreed. 100%.
But I hear more noise about Eze.
All right, let me talk to you about this, okay? This is something I want you to understand, okay? When you're at the position you're in currently, okay? And this happened with Henry, this happened in the Bergkamp area, this happened back then too, the way that they spoke about these players when they didn't perform. When you're at the top and you're expected to win, because that's what it is at your point. You're expected to win. When you're at the top and you're expected to win, when you do things, they're magnifying that much more. Because when it is Chelsea coming off of a Champions League final and Lukaku is not can't hit a barn door. He was getting the same talk that Gyökeres was getting. So it's like it's just based off of where you are in the food chain right now, bro. Legitly, Manchester United, they don't see them in the food chain the way that they see Arsenal in the food chain. That's just the reality. Arsenal, the expectation is go do that thing. Go raise those armpits. That's the expectation in all of the media because you guys gotten yourself there for the last couple years and been in a race. So they're going to take you and they're going to magnify it. Unfortunately. And they do that to the London clubs specifically. I'm just going to be honest. Like they do, like anytime when DDA wasn't scoring, they killed him. They killed him. So like this is just what happens when you're at a London club and you have that expectation. That's just how I see it, bro. Because I don't see Manchester United players as much. Like I haven't seen Manchester United players get a ton of hate since like Di Maria and them. That's the last time I like super amount of hate. Pogba. That Pogba.
Rashford?
Nah. Rashford's still media darling, regardless on how anybody wants us to look at it.
Rashford
He gets played, but he's a media darling.
Bro, Rashford got cooked for feeding children.
Yeah, but it's Manchester United's not doing well, so they do it. But it's not like a huge freaking, oh, he's not playing well. Like he's always like whenever he scores a goal, bro, they're right there for him. When it's one of these players that come from a different league that costs a lot of money, Manchester United own. You know what I'm saying? It's always when it's a big time, when a player comes from a different league and they got expectations. Gyökeres came, he had expectations. He scored 100+ goals, and he's going to a team that was this close to winning the title. They should win the title now. That's what the expectation is. So, like, unfortunately, the talk of media will talk about you with expectation. Think about it this way, right? Let me use the Raptors just so you could grasp it in another realm. Okay?
All right.
If Quickly or Barrett or Ingram go on a streak of not scoring much, right?
We're fucked.
Yeah, but is the media going to talk about it?
No.
But if Jalen Brunson and Cat go and go on a slump and we don't do well, is the media going to talk about it, Igal?
Yeah, big market team, small market team.
But it's not even big market team, small market team at this point. What was the expectation for the Knicks this year?
Championship or bust, no?
It's the same concept.
No,
it's literally the same concept.
I think
on big market or small market. I'll do a different one. What if it's OKC?
Small market?
What if OKC? I know they won the championship last year, but what if this year they go in? They're expected to win the championship this year, and Shea goes and he plays. They get Hartenstein or something. They get Hartenstein this year instead, because I know they didn't get nobody this summer. But they get Hartenstein this summer for some reason. And Hartenstein is a net negative to their team. And they spent all this money on Hartenstein, but he's a net negative to the team for some reason. They would be talking about it, wouldn't they?
I don't think they would spend too much time on OKC.
I disagree. I think
the Lakers.
Honestly, if we're putting it in comparison, the Knicks and Arsenal are in comparison big markets for big markets.
Let me tell you something. ESPN rinsed the Cowboys, they rinsed the Lakers, and in English football, they rinse Arsenal.
Okay, let's use Luka Doncic.
You're a Chelsea fan.
Let's use Luka Doncic for example.
You're a Chelsea fan. You see a lot of Chelsea content.
Luka Doncic goes for under 20.
Let me stop you for a second. People make big money. People make big money shitting on Arsenal. I don't see people making big money shitting on other people.
That's absolutely not true.
Bro, when I tell you there is
what do you mean people make big money? What do you mean by people make big money?
All right. Let me break it down.
What do you mean by that? Explain to me that. Maybe I don't understand what you mean by that.
The fan base that interacts the most with negativity is Arsenal. You post something negative about Arsenal, not only are you going to get all the Arsenal haters jumping on it, you're also going to get all the Arsenal fans jumping on it to defend Arsenal. Liverpool, you say something negative about Liverpool, nobody's interacting with it. You say something negative about Man City, nobody's interacting with it. You say something negative about Tottenham, nobody's interacting with it. If you say something negative about Man United or Chelsea, there's going to be interactions. But guess what? Chelsea don't have as many haters across the Premier League as Arsenal. So you're not gonna get what do you call it, Man City fans jumping in on Chelsea. You're not gonna get what do you call it, Manchester United fans jumping in on Chelsea as much. You're not gonna get Liverpool fans jumping in on Chelsea as much. Modern day Liverpool fans, not old school Liverpool fans. When it comes to Arsenal, we have some sort of. It seems like every fan base wants a piece of the banter or the jokes towards Arsenal.
Welcome to being a Knicks fan. Welcome to being a Knicks fan. That's the exact shit I have had to deal with my entire life. And you want to know why? Is because you guys are loud. So is the Knicks fan base. Your haters are even louder. So is the Knicks fan base. So like it's literally if you want to compare it, we can use the Knicks again. If the Knicks they get Cat, they just get Cat last year, their expectations to go to the championship, and Cat goes for 10 points and 5 rebounds for 3 weeks straight. They're gonna be talking about Cat all week for 3 weeks, 4 weeks in a row. It comes with the expectation, partly expectation, partly size of who you are, right? Size of who you are goes with it too. You have the loudest YouTube fan base, the loudest. So do we, as Knicks fans. I can tell you that for free. Like you have some of the best content creators in the game are mostly Arsenal fans. Like there's a lot of great content creators. You guys are the loudest. That's why it feels that way. You guys started this thing. Really? It was the Arsenal fans and Man United fans who started YouTube football YouTube. True. So it's like it comes with the territory, gal. It kind of comes with the territory. You know what I'm saying? It comes with the size and the loudness of the fan base. Believe me, I know. I'm a Knicks fan. It's almost identical, literally. All right, we'll stop talking about Arsenal because I still got to get to Chelsea. And I only got 15 minutes to 18 minutes to do that because I'm going to be done here in an hour. I'm not doing more in an hour. All right. A lot of things have happened over the last few weeks since I've actually done or spoken anything Chelsea oriented. Okay. We've gone through a streak of losses, which some of them are Maresca's fault. I'm not going to get it twisted. But we also got through a couple good games recently. And I do have a good belief on what it's going to look like on Saturday. I have a good idea. Right?
Sorry?
I have a good idea of what it's going to look like Saturday morning. I think we're going to have a good game on that day, just based off of who I think is going to be available for Newcastle and timing.
What's your midfield going to be?
Everyone's available. Outside of Lavia, everyone's available.
Okay. You ready for
a fight?
Outside
of Lavia and Esteval. Esteval has a little knock, I think.
You ready for a fight? Because it's going to be a physical battle. It's not going to be.
Yeah, I think we have the players to go for a fight. That's one. Oh. That's Reece James. It'll probably be Reece James in the midfield with Caicedo and Enzo. I know we're going to be in a fight.
I don't know what your head-to-head is with Newcastle away, but Newcastle away is one of the toughest grounds in the league, and I expect you guys to struggle out there.
I don't think it's going to be a walk in the park, but I also think Cole Palmer takes advantage of these types of games when it's like this. So I think with him next to João Pedro up there, we're gonna be looking pretty good. I'm just gonna be honest with you. The way their back line looked against Fulham, because I know it's gonna be the same back line without Livramento, without Hall. I'm feeling pretty confident. Okay, it's like Tiao and fucking whatever that guy with the gray hair is. His name is. That back line, we should turn up against Newcastle. Plain and simple. Okay. Okay, so like big thing with this game, like big thing with the whole Maresca scenario right now is just like I don't believe we should lose him. I don't believe we should.
It's a power play.
Just yet. That's how I see it. That's actually thank you, Miguel. I appreciate you saying that because that was going to be literally my next statement. Is like this whole thing would you hire George Mendes to gain power in your situation. You hire George Mendes to make sure that if they don't play their game, we can play ours. Like in this scenario, there's no reason why he shouldn't get more than what he has. Like there's actually no reason. There's zero actual reason why you should be why these sporting directors can't identify the problems that we have. And if you can't identify them and our manager is going out in public identifying them for you, then you have the issue. It's you as sporting directors that have an issue because you aren't addressing the things the way that they should be done properly. It's you. It's not the manager, regardless on his mistakes, because he's going to make mistakes. He's only human. I'm not expecting my manager to be perfect. Pep's not perfect, so no one's perfect. Period. Pep's not perfect, so no one's perfect. Pep has 6 fucking prems. I watched Fergie bottle a prem. Don't give me these guys don't make mistakes. They make fucking mistakes. Okay? Arteta, he's going to make fucking mistakes. It's how many of these mistakes are going to cost him games. Okay? And what does those games implicate? And if those games implicate the fact that you do not raise your armpits at the end of the season, then yes, you have a fucking problem. Okay? That's it. That's the reality. That's football. Otherwise, these fucking sporting directors need to give these guys the tools to do what they need. Berta did his job this year. Berta came in, did his job. Why is that so difficult to understand?
Arsenal fans are going to be upset if you don't go sign somebody in January. I know my fan base. They're gonna.
That's due to your injuries. Yeah, reality also is you guys need to slim down your squad regardless if you want to buy a player. Like you can't just buy a player to the 28 players that you have. You need to sell Martinelli. You need to sell Trossard. You need to sell a piece who's been contributing because they are all the ones that you can sell are healthy. And the players that are healthy are either contributing or they're not. If they're not contributing, they're not playing. Norgard, not playing. How are you going to sell him?
I'm not selling him.
That's what I'm saying. Who can you sell then? Martinelli. Okay, who's going to buy Martinelli? Unfortunately, you put Martinelli on a lot of wages. He's on like 2 something.
No, he's on 180.
180? Still. It's still like, unless in January, unless Saudi comes in, you kind of stuck. Anyway,
we're not selling these guys right now.
That's what I'm saying.
I personally don't think we sign anybody in January. But brother, I'm gonna have to go. I'm sorry. I'm literally
no. You're good, bro. I'm gonna just do. I'll do my own thing here. I'm gonna do Chelsea stuff for the rest of it. So
what's your score prediction for your game?
I think 2-1 Chelsea win.
I'm going 2-0, 2-1 Newcastle. And for the Arsenal game, what's your score prediction?
2-1 Arsenal.
Yeah, we should beat Everton.
2-1 Arsenal. If it was a full squad, I would have a little bit of a different tone to like the fixture and the way that. But I have you think that Newcastle, what's it called? Like Villa, like Newcastle or Everton have a lot of injuries. Newcastle have just as many injuries and missing just as many players as Everton. So like, and you guys we're playing them both at home. So that's the only thing.
All right, no worries. You have a good day, man. Catch you in the next.
Easy, bro.
Love for the love. Peace.
All right, so let's just get to it. I can't give Maresca the type of hate that you guys want me to. I'm just never going to. I'm never going to, bro. I'm never gonna go here and I'm gonna tell you that I want this manager out. For 2 reasons. Majorly for two reasons. Okay, I can't. Why am I can't get this the right way? I don't know why I can't get this the right way. Oh, that's right. I'm just stupid. All right, here we go. Like, bro, I'm gonna be upfront about this shit. I'm gonna be straight up. Like, I'm never gonna have the type of vitriol that you guys have for this manager. That's just the reality. I don't know why you guys have this vitriol for this manager. I don't understand why you guys even think that this is a good idea to lose this guy. Like, we've seen who they've chosen before this. Like, it's gonna end up being like Liam Rossignol, and I don't mind Liam, but it's a side. It's at best we're taking one step backwards. At least, at best we're taking one step backwards. At best, if it's De Zerbi, if they get De Zerbi, guys, I'll be happy. Just like everybody else that like De Zerbi, I like De Zerbi too. I ain't gonna front. I like De Zerbi. I fuck with De Zerbi heavy. Don't get it twisted, okay? Do not get it twisted. But I don't understand how you can hire him if I don't understand how you can hire him if he's going to have problems with squad building, because everything that they've done at Marseille has been stamped, rubber stamped. De Zerbi needs this, we get De Zerbi this. We need him to. He wants another striker. We get him another striker. De Zerbi, you want Aubameyang? No worries. We'll sign up Aubameyang. De Zerbi, you need 2 new center backs? Oh yeah, we got you. We'll get two Argentinian center backs for you. Don't worry about it. Like they get him the shit that he needs. That's what Maresca's doing right now. He's just asking for shit he needs. If De Zerbi lost Levi Colwell, you think he would have been dealing with this? I ask you guys a question. All you guys who like De Zerbi, and all you guys know how much De Zerbi likes Levi Colwell. He loves himself some Levi Colwell. Okay? He loves Levi Colwell, bro. We all know it. Okay? We know. He loves him some Levi Colwell. Pause. That happens to him this summer. You think De Zerbi doesn't do the same shit that Maresca did? The same exact shit. You don't think he does the same shit? Asking for another center back, going on the stage, asking for another center back? You don't think that's the case? You don't think that Maresca asks? You don't think that De Zerbi does the same exact thing? The same thing that Maresca did this summer? If you don't think that, you're deluded. You're actually deluded. If you do not think that he does the same thing as Maresca did this summer, you're deluded. That's how we got a Brighton. He wanted a new goalkeeper. Period. In this scenario that Maresca's great, if this is the scenario, and we had De Zerbi in this exact scenario, if you're telling me we are putting De Zerbi, we placed De Zerbi in the same scenario, Levi Colwell's out. Your options are Tosin, Badiashile, Chalba to play left-sided center back. You don't think he walks? You don't think he does this, makes a fuss? Maresca's barely making a fuss. But this guy is 10 times the hothead than Maresca is. 10 times. I love it. I love it. I love the hothead in this. I love De Zerbi. I love it. Give me that energy. Absolutely. When Maresca ran down the sideline, I loved that shit. Fuck if he got sent the fuck off. I love that shit. Give me that energy. Mafia, that's debatable. That's debatable. Because all the players that we think that De Zerbi would get more out of, Maresca's getting out of. Getting plenty out of. It's just debatable. And I'm not necessarily saying you're wrong. I'm not even saying that you're wrong, bro. I'm not even saying you're wrong. I just think it's debatable. I don't think that they get De Zerbi is my problem, Mafia. Mafia, that is my main problem. My main problem is I don't believe they get us De Zerbi. They'll go get it. It's shown. They're going to get us Rossinier. They're going to bring Rossinier from Strasbourg. That's what they'll end up doing. You think that's what I want? And I like Rossinier. But he's not this. He's not this. He's not this, Mafia. That's the thing. He's not this. So just because you want that for the club, right? Just because you want that for the club, that doesn't mean the club's going to bring in someone like that. It's more likely they bring in Rossinier. Look at the model. Look at the style of person or style of mentality. And this is the point. This is the point right here. This is the point right here where this is the reason why I like Enzo Maresca more than I like De Zerbi. Right here. Right here. This is it right here. Because I don't believe there's another manager that can keep Reece James this healthy. Everybody else is going to want him bombing up the pitch. Xavi Hernandez plays the most boring football you'll ever watch in your entire life. But okay. Like the funny thing is, guys, is like you guys want things and then you'll say the things that you want. Like you want to watch exciting football. You don't want to watch sideways ball and passing to your center backs. You want to go up. You want the ball to be going up the field faster and things like that. But then you'll tell me you want Xavi Hernandez. At that point, I know you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. At that point, I know you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Because, like, that's the shit. He would be a black coach. I would fuck with that. I would fuck with that. Agreed, Ator. But like I said, bro. Like I said. This guy's made mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes, but you can't give him fucking bronze, a fucking copper fucking stone, then expect it to turn into gold. He's rubbing the fucking copper as much as he fucking can, but he's not going to get gold out of it. He rubbed the copper with Tosin as much as he fucking could, bro. I disagree. There's a in-game tactical understanding that I need to make sure that the manager has. And every time I watch Xavi ball, it is the most boring shit you could ever imagine. And Pedri makes it look even better. When you have Pedri, bro, yeah, your football's going to look all right. But that shit was boring. In-game tactical adjustments, they get screwed. They go down, they get screwed. It was only ever fucking individual brilliance getting them out of the shit. And then you have my manager fucking scraping the dust off of fucking Tosin, trying to get fucking just a tad bit more out of his bitch ass, and he looks like a 40-year-old out there. Then he'll go to Man City. He'll have all the funds and all the fucking shit in the world to work with. And he'll have Haaland fucking finishing and bagging shit left and right instead of the lap. He'll have fucking winger galore. He'll probably bring Grealish back to fucking City and use Grealish again. You see how he was talking to Grealish after the fucking game? Oh, he probably would love to have Grealish on this team. Oh, man. I'm just like, bro. Like, Garnacho and Gittins is really what you brought this guy for $100 million? And Garnacho's actually been all right. Like, as of recently, he's been all right. Like, his last few performances have been all right, man. Like, he missed a fucking fuck ton of chances against Everton, but outside of that, he was okay. A better squad. How does that make sense when they made our squad worse from last year? Has anybody actually thought of that? Is our squad actually better than last year? Mafia, is our squad better than last year, bro? Just from last year, is our squad better? Anyone? Okay, in what way? In what way, Mafia? In what way is our squad better? Give me an idea. While you guys tell me why this squad's better, I'm going to go grab a spliff so I can smoke. Now, please, I'd love to know, why is this squad better than it was last year? Tell me why this year's squad's better than last year's squad. That's all I want to know. Someone please tell me why this year's squad is better than last year's squad. I want to understand that. That's the piece I want to understand. Mafia, I'll even send you the link if you want to jump on, and we can talk. Me and you, we can talk. If you want the link, I'll send you the link. You can come on here, and me and you can have a conversation. Because I can have a conversation. I don't have to be angry or do anything. So we didn't have a backup left back last year. We don't have two strikers. And we didn't have two strikers. Okay. And we had one left winger. Okay. So you're saying the depth in itself, just the overall having the depth makes the squad better. That's what you're saying. Not necessarily like the quality. Would you consider Garnacho better than Sancho? Oh, Mafia, I'm not even talking about Madueke. I don't have to bring Madueke into this conversation for us to I don't have to bring Madueke into this conversation for me to have a conversation about this. Because I know that Safad's better than Madueke. So once again, I'm going to go back to what I was just saying. Just having the depth in itself is better. Bro, 7-8 years is a fucking long time to Corey. I'm sorry to swear at you, but 7-8 years is a long fucking time, bro. If you're talking about like 7-8 years from the start, that's still a long fucking time. Then we don't have a backup 10. We have Booty Meaty, who's arguably one of the worst signings we've had in a while. Like, I would have rather kept Carney than signed Booty Meaty. And I don't even like Carney like that. But we probably could have been better off just keeping Carney. Straight up. Like, Chukwemeka is better than Booty Meaty. Chukwemeka would have done just as much, if not more, than Booty Meaty at this club already. But to Corey, I'm not asking them to revamp the entire back line. I wanted one center back. Well, one. I didn't even need two. I needed one. What's your guys' thoughts on Hincapie? Because, like, Hato was supposed to be able to play center back, but, you know, Hato is super young, bro. Like, and he doesn't look confident whatsoever. Like, I don't know, bro. You're supposed to be one of, like, the top prospects. Him and Gittins, bro. Like, bro, you all are not confident, bro. Like, you need to come in and you came to a big club, play confident, bro. What the fuck is this? That's where something that, like, I am giving Maresca more. I have to give Maresca a little bit of hate for is like, bro, what can you do to get these guys more confident, man? Because, like, these guys are not playing with no type of confidence whatsoever. How do you know it was Maresca that got him sold? Mafia? I mean, Hato killed his own confidence, bro. Just Maresca just didn't play him afterwards. I didn't think he was that bad against Cardiff, to be honest. But he's all right. Did you think Mafia, like, KDH is the one that KDH is the one, like, is kind of like that. But did you think last year when we had Cole playing nearly every game, we needed to play Carney or we needed to play Felix in that spot? Did you think that needed to happen? And you say he didn't play KDH, but KDH played like 20-something games for us last year. Yeah, see, here's the thing. You say he was exiled, right? But wouldn't that put him in the hothead category? Like, we were all just talking about this just a second ago. Let me bring some. I'll go back up. These kids, this is the words that came out of Mafia's mouth right here, or he typed it, right? These kids need someone who's going to curse them out instead of babysitting them. Wouldn't this be cursing them out? Like, can someone give me, am I losing it, or no, but Tor, like that, this is a fact. This is not you. I'm not talking about I didn't really like that, but I'm talking about this is a fact. This is a fact. Oh, so there's a limit to that now. Of like how much you can punish someone. There's a limit to that. There's a limit to that. I'm trying to. There's like everyone. It's all over the place now. So let me ask you something then. Hato makes the mistake at Karabakh. Right? Hato makes the mistake at Karabakh, right? No, he made two mistakes, right? He made the mistakes at Karabakh. What is like if he makes those mistakes at Karabakh, like that loss, that draw put us in a scenario where we had to win in the Champions League against Barcelona. Bro, Takori, he probably knew he wasn't going to play until Cardiff because we've had a run of games. When did you want him to play? Burnley? We needed to win against Burnley. We needed to win. Every week, people like you, CAA Mafia, have been at his throat for dropping points. So if he puts Hato in, and he makes a mistake, and we lose because of Hato's mistake, Maresca's the one that's going to have to take the blame. I hear you, and we can criticize Maresca for that. That's absolutely fine to criticize him. 100%, no problem. You can criticize him for that. 100%. 100% you can criticize him for that. But we going to fire him for doing that? You know what I'm saying, Atorin? I know you're not saying that, but that's what we're saying? Like, we're going to fire him for that? Once again, I don't disagree with this. But I don't know what you exactly want here. Because, like, there's still a certain point where, like, players have to be rested. Right? Like, and Jose used to do this all the time. So, like, I don't know why we make this big deal over it. But Jose used to do this all the time. Jose used to play, like, remember how Tom Callis would play? Like, Remember them days? Just a random fucking cup game against a team in the second division, like Callis would play and some motherfuckers from the academy and shit like that. Well, we got 18, 19-year-olds on their team. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see the major difference. But like, I also get your point of like, to develop them, play them with better players. But also, it's like the better players, like some of the better players have to play every single week and they need to be rotated too. Like, there's still that, right? Like, we don't want Enzo running. We don't want to run Enzo to the ground. The left-sided center back that we have, the only left-sided center back that we have is Hato and Badiashile. We're playing fucking Chalba over there because Badiashile's not healthy enough to play. Like, he's kind of handcuffed, bro. The one thing I could give you is he 100% should use him off the bench more. I can 100% give you that. I can 100%, bro. No doubt about it. You're not wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying you're wrong about that whatsoever. But are we really saying that, like, he isn't a little bit hamstrung with the options? We are using 5, 6, 7 at. We are using 5, 6 at on the roster at center back right now. I'm debating that that what he's doing isn't fireable. That's what I'm debating. All I'm saying is the rotation part of his job is not fireable, bro. Like that's the reality. Like, the rotation part of his job is not a fireable offense. What he's doing in rotation is not a fireable offense, bro. Like, that's what I'm talking about here. That's what I'm talking about here. At HGB, big up to you, my G. I appreciate you coming through, my guy. I appreciate you coming through. I think it will show a lot for our football, for these players. If these players show up against Newcastle and get a dub, I think it would show a lot for us. It would show a ton. And like I said, Newcastle have to play. I don't know if they'll have. I think they only have. I don't think they'll have any of their fullbacks healthy. They have 4 fullbacks that are injured. Livramento, Trippier, Hall. Hall might make it. So Livramento, Trippier, Dan Burns definitely out. Botman's out. Lascelles is out. And potentially Hall. So, hey, Jardel, all things must come to an end, my G. All things must come to an end. You know what I'm saying? Jardel, I've been thinking about just going live on my own in the mornings. Thinking that might be doing that sometime soon if I start finding some Chelsea news, especially come January. I might be starting to do that, but we'll see. Okay, so Mafia, I can agree with this. What are the signings? So I think Hato is obviously one, right? I think Hato is one of the ones that you're talking about here, right? Give me the other ones that you're talking about, just so I understand where you're going with this. I want to just grasp where you're going with this, okay? Because I feel like I'm not giving you a fair chance in this conversation. So I just want to see where you're going with this. So, like, what are the other ones that you would say that he's not using? What are the other signings you would say he's not using? Would you say Santos is the other one? So, like, Hato and Santos, probably, right? Okay. Okay, 1 second. I just dropped my spliff. Okay. I can see a bit of what you're saying with all of them. I don't like the way he's used Santos personally. But that's just due to the fact that we don't have a 10. So it's like he's kind of forced to use Santos that way, as well as playing Reece James that way. I think Santos probably deserves more minutes. I think the whole George thing specifically is I think with George specifically, it's just I think they already have a deal for him to like get him out of here. I hope they already have a deal for him because the only reason he's here is on a technicality because he was supposed to be sold. Yeah, I think that's only I think that's only a technicality that he's here. I mean, like HGP, I would have to disagree with you. They were entertaining to watch, sure, because Cole Palmer was just the only one that was clinical in the end. But like everyone's not with Maresca. It's been way more structured. Way more structured. It's like we're not conceding nearly as many goals. We play decent football when we want to move the ball quickly because some of these times these players don't want to move the fucking ball quick enough. But we're just not clinical still. Period. We're still not that clinical. Yeah, fun to watch as a neutral. Exactly. Not fun for our fucking heart rate. I say bin this 10 thing and run 4-3-3 CM benefits so much. The problem is with that, Jardel, is we do not have enough midfielders to run a 4-3-3 either. That's why you're seeing fucking Gusto and Reece James in midfield. What do you think he's doing now? What do you think he's doing now? That's the dependent on the tools that you have, though, Mafia. That's totally dependent on the tools you have. That doesn't mean you're simplifying it way too much. And in the UCL it's more on in-game tactics. Who's the best in-game tactician? Because last year that shit was fucking Luis Enrique. Luis Enrique was easily the best in-game tactician in his matchups. Every time he matched up against another manager, he won the in-game tactic battle. Every single time. That's what UCL is about when it comes to coaching. What can you do in-game? Because sometimes you're not going to have the right lineup and you're going to have to change it. But you have to still win or draw that game. And I'm not saying that Maresca's good enough to do that yet. I don't know. But I'm pretty sure I know what I have with this guy. Okay, I'm pretty sure I know what I have. Okay, so that's the way I see it. And using Tibbs is a dirty and nasty word. Dirty and nasty way of doing things because you know how much I hate Tibbs. So fuck you, Mafia. You know how much I hate Tibbs, Mafia. Fuck you. Yeah, that's if you I would agree with this. I would agree with this if you were fucking talking about like if you were talking about trying to win both. I don't think that he can win both. I don't think he can win both right now, but I don't think we have the rotation to win both. I always knew that we weren't going to win the league. I never said we were going to win the league. Bro, like, that's the thing, is I think he's a good in-game tactician. If you ask me, can Maresca go up against the best of the best in a tactic battle with his tools versus your tools in a one-on-one battle? I'm still picking my guy. I'm taking the bald Italian. I'm not going to front. That's just the reality. In a 1-game, 2-game situation, my tools versus your tools, all of Europe. Bro, I agreed, bro. Agreed. If he gets knocked out early, I'll be probably sitting there with you, bro. But right now, what he's proven to me in them type of games so far, bro, I watched back the Bayern game. Even that game, we didn't fucking lose that game because Maresca's tactics. We lost that game because our center backs are inept. They are inept. That's why. They're inept center backs, bro. Fucking Chalba nearly kicked the ball into our own net. The subs that change it, not good enough. I'll give you there. The Atalanta tactics. Oh, glad you said that. Glad you said that. Did you see how our midfield played in that game? Tired. I'll give you. That could be on Maresca for not playing Santos more. I'll give you that. I can give you that. Atalanta didn't do anything special. They didn't. They didn't do nothing special. You remember how our wingers played in that game? Neto wasn't even good. Once that happens, we probably don't got a chance. None of our other wingers are that great anyways. Esteval came on, he ran backwards. Tossing Chalba, Bayern away, bro. But who did he have available? Pretty sure fucking Fofana had a concussion at that time or some shit. Nah, Lucas. Where have I stood with this manager? Where have I stood with this manager? You say, Takori, you say 4 fullbacks. But then Gusto goes and fucking has the game of his life the following fucking game. You, man, want Josh to play. So what do you expect? Santos, he does not trust Santos. He does not trust Hato. Those are the things he does. He just does not, that are at this current moment. They have to earn his trust back. That's it. So if you hate him for those things, sure. But is it fireable? No. City will take him, though, off our hands. Like, what are we talking? Like, that's what we're talking about. That you gotta have killers up front to do that, though. You gotta have killers up front. What are we talking about? You know who puts away teams like this? Fucking. You know who puts away teams that we should be beating? Fucking strikers. Strikers are team. Are. Do you know what people would have said? Give me Lukaku because let him beat up on these small teams. Give me Lukaku, bro. Lukaku would beat up on these small teams all day long. That's what he used to do. That's where he scored 25 fucking goals on. Scoring on these bum-ass fucking teams. 25 goals, bum-ass teams. Give me 25 goals on these bum-ass teams, Lukaku. I would love that right now. Compared to all this other bullshit. Why you think I wanted Osimhen? Now Osimhen would be dunking on these fucking low blocks. We cross the ball in, Osimhen, bang! Dunking on these dudes. Bro, come on now. Come on, man. Come on, we don't got nobody to fucking cross the ball to. Arsenal got Marino to cross the ball to. You're right. They do got Marino to cross the ball to. I'll give you that. We ain't got nobody when we play these low blocks. What are we going to be doing? We just cross the ball all game. To nobodies. Fucking Kukurea in the box last year. That's who saved us last year. Kukurea back post. That's who saved us last year. Who we fucking crossing the ball to? Nico Jackson? Send this dude the lap to Everton for a year, bro. Dead ass. Get this dude to Everton for a year. I need him playing every game and fighting people at Everton, not at Chelsea. Get this guy over to Everton. That's his level right now. And then João Pedro. João Pedro just don't want to shoot. This guy, bro, if he shoot more, bro, he needs to double the shot count. Like, João Pedro don't even get, like, 2 shots off. I need João Pedro to be shooting 4 times a game. 4. Not 2, 4. 5. The only way we're going to fucking do something in this season if João Pedro shoots 5, 6 times a game. I don't care if you miss. Shoot. This guy needs to shoot the fucking ball. The lap like to wrestle. You like to wrestle. João Pedro don't want to shoot. Shoot the fucking ball. You see why I wanted Osimhen? Because Osimhen is just a striker, bro. He is just a striker. I don't need brilliance. I don't need on the ball and you can't pat touch and no, cross the ball and have the fucking shit. That's what I want. I don't need this shit. Shoot. When the ball gets your feet, I don't want you looking at anything else. I want you looking at the goal. I don't want you looking at Cole Palmer you look at the goal. Yeah, that's what the manager wants. Of course, that's what the manager wants. Like, we weren't this close to getting Osimhen. But that's what the manager wants. How about you just keep getting him false nines? How about that? Huh? How about that? How about that? You just keep getting him false nines. That's all you keep on getting him. You don't get him nobody else other than false nine. I don't need back to goal. I don't need none of that shit. Cross the fucking ball to the guy in the box. Works fine for Chris Wood. Scored 20-something fucking goals. Look at what Igor Thiago's doing. Cross the fucking ball into the box. The lap, yeah, I could give you that. The lap's a terrible sign. Send that motherfucker to Everton. That's why I said, just send that motherfucker to Everton. I don't care what he wants. Get me a striker. Why? Wait. I want to ask you something, though. I want to ask you something. Why is it all of a sudden always him, though? He makes all those decisions? Like, I'll give him hate for that shit. I have no problem giving hate for that shit. I'll give you the stick that Maresca deserves because I know he wanted the lap. Know the system supposedly and all this other shit. That's why I don't have no patience. I'm sure it was Joe Shields. How do you think he got him? Of course it was Joe Shields. Of course. We gotta take some lumps. That's fine. But y'all knew I wanted Hugo Ekitike. Y'all knew I wanted fucking Nick Woltemade. And we ended up with the cheap option. Like, the lab's only 30 million, guys. Like in the end, he's English, white, and he's 30 million. You can get that 30 million back. No questions. He'll stay in the fucking league somewhere. Send his bitch, like I said, send his bitch ass to Everton. They'll pay 35 for him right now, I bet. They'll pay 35 for him right now. Yes and no. Not sure a target striker will work with how we play. I think only a technical striker will work with how we play. Like I said, okay, the guys I wanted this summer, last summer was Osimhen, by the way. The summer before that, like not this recent summer, the summer before that. That was Osimhen. I knew we weren't getting Osimhen this last summer. The two guys I wanted were Hugo Ekitike and Nick Woltemade. Both of them are doing just fine in their current locations. Nick Woltemade probably scores against us this weekend. Because I don't think they'll have Wisa. I think Wisa is going to AFCON. But yeah. We just keep getting these half strikers. Fucking Samu would have been all right. At this rate, I would have taken Samu over these motherfuckers. Straight up, I would have taken Samu over all the guys that we've gone through since then. All of them. All of them, I would take Samu over all of them. Yeah, because Omega's just technically better than fucking Delap. My problem is, I don't know if he's going to actually try to be if he's going to act like a man in that league, in our league. Takuri, if we had Samu, I don't think we get the lap. I'm going to be honest with you with that one. Will Omega make a difference? Let me ask. I'm going to tell you something about Mega. Okay. Kid is as talented as you want him to be. Okay, he's as talented as you want him to be. He is 2-footed. He can shoot with 2 feet. His ball striking is average to above average, not beautifully good. Hold up play and aerially, he's very good. Okay, so those are the 2 things that you'll get. You guys thought Jackson was good. This kid is just Jackson, taller and can head the ball. That's the type of player he is. His shooting, but he'll shoot. That's the thing. He will shoot. Like I take Penicelli right now. Nah, Mega is not aura, bro. Mega is not aura, bro. Bro, he literally builds up like 90% of what they do normally. They feed the ball into him. He can hold the ball up and he can feed it out. The way that João Pedro played at Cardiff with his back to goal, and he was just, that's what he can do. But he's a taller and better in the air type of player. Penicelli's way better in the air than anybody, and he's probably the most pure striker we have in this situation that we got. He's the most pure. Okay, Penicelli is honestly the player that we need, in my opinion. That's the guy we need. We don't need a Mega. We need Penicelli. We got enough of Megas. We have João Pedro. He's just shorter. Penicelli, we need the counter punch. I've been saying it for forever. We always have all these false nines. Nobody counter punch. Everyone's just fucking fight up top. All these guys want to fucking wrestle and all this. I need a counter punch. I need someone, you're going to throw that ball up and he wants to dunk on you. I need a counter punch. Well, I don't see why other people don't grasp this. I don't care. If you want it to be a Mega, João Pedro, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I need a counter punch. I need someone you can throw the ball in the box to. He's going to go and get it. He just knows where to be in the box. Fox in the box, up in the air, wants to fucking deal with things in the air with these big-ass dudes in this fucking league because everyone's a 6'5 center back in this league. Everyone got 6'5 center backs. Everyone. At least, not us, but everyone else. Got 6'5 center back. I think Badiashile might be 6'5. Tosin's definitely 6'5. But everyone got 6'5 center back. All of them. I need somebody who's going to be dunking. Because it's possible, you just got to do it. Someone got to do it. Igor Thiago's finding a way to fucking do it. Somebody can do it. Josh is 6'5". Well, Josh needs to stop letting the ball go over his head. You guys love this Josh guy, bro. He is a hot, cold performer for me right now. That's all he is. Hot, cold performer. Bro, if he makes that World Cup squad, Jardel. He's the first good strike. He reminds me of early Higuain. That's what he reminds me of. Early Higuain. That's what he reminds me of. He's just hot, cold for me. Josh is hot, cold for me, bro. Josh is just hot, cold for me. Turn the heat on, by the way. Yeah, but you got to feed Penicelli. You see, like, the best Strasbourg plays is when they play Omega and Penicelli next to each other. That's the when they play at their best. When Strasbourg play at their best, a mega, and Panicelli are next to each other, because then they got two targets in the box. That's what I'm talking about with you having João Pedro and Omega is the same style of player. Is the same style. You do not need two of the same style. Get me a Fox. Get me. I like Panicelli. Someone like that. Just get him. Fuck it. Fuck it. Send Omega his ass back to Strasbourg if we're gonna keep João Pedro, and just give me a Panicelli. Give me someone like that. That's what Igor Thiago is. I don't know why you guys don't understand. With Igor Thiago, he's not that good at anything else. He's good at penalties, and he's good at being in and around the box. That fucking kid at he was at Botafogo, but he's at Forest now. I know the Brazilian striker. You know what I'm saying? Who's that guy? What's that guy's name? No, he won't. Julian Alvarez is not going to be available, and he's staying in Spain regardless. It'll be Real Madrid or Barcelona who will get Julian Alvarez. Igor Jesus, thank you, chat. Yeah, Igor Jesus. This guy's a below average fox in the box. That's what he is. That's what he is. But he's aerially, he goes up, he gets it. You put shots on, he gives pressure. He's a $30 million fucking Nunez. That's what he is. But better in the air. He's better than Nunez in the air. Yo, give me someone better than that. Lucas. Robbie better than Delap? I don't want to admit it, but yeah, probably. Riley hold-up play is fucking bonkers. He's good at that shit. He's good at hold-up play, but he's only a super sub for them. You notice that, Takori? He only a super sub. He don't start games. Robbie on that super sub. He only a super sub, bro. They don't be starting him. There's a reason for that. Because he a fat boy, like fucking Bonyface. That's what it is. I'm telling you. That's what it is, Takori. I'm telling you. Yeah, well, that's lovely. They get another generational center back. We can't get a generational center back because you guys want to trust Josh. Yeah, me too, Jardel. Me too. That's I have two misses, and unfortunately, they're both on our team. I have two misses this season, and unfortunately, two of them are on our team. Because I didn't rate João Pedro. I rated Ekitike. I rated Moltamade. I didn't rate Cunha. I still don't rate Cunha. Didn't rate Sesko. Didn't rate Gyökeres. But I missed on Gittins and I missed on Delap. I'm not afraid to admit it. I missed. You know what I'm saying? It's not fans. It was just me. Lucas, it's just me. I'm the only one. It's not fans. Fans love this kid, bro. What are we talking about here? It's just me. It has nothing to do with fans. Let me defend the fans. I'm the one that don't like words being put in my mouth. It's not the fans. I just think he's hot cold. And that's okay because he's 18, 19 years old. That's cool, bro. I get it. See, that's the difference between me and most people. It's like I can see that he's good, but he's hot cold. He gives me these hot cold performances. He can't stay. He can't give me more than two. He can't give me 2 in a row. Like he can't give me 2 in a row. Can't give me 2 in a row performances. Not yet. But he's 19. He'll come. I think he'll come. He got the talent. I've seen the performances, but he's hot and cold. That's all I said. No hate. No hate, bro. No hate. Don't judge him next to Tosin. Okay, I will give. You know what? I think that's unfair. You're right, actually. That is unfair of me. That's unfair of me, Lucas. You're right. Actually, you're right. You're right, Lucas. That's unfair, son. That's unfair of me, bro. That's unfair of me because but that's what this is what I'm actually saying. This is what I'm actually saying. You want to know something? Josh would be way better in a 3. In a back 3, he'd be way better. I'm going to be honest. Actually, I'm going to be honest. Wesley, Josh, Badia Shield, Levi, probably all suit a back 3 a little bit better than a back 4. Like defensively. And to be honest, you probably could play Enzo in a back 3 and a pivot because he would have enough cover. Gusto probably is more effective in a back 3. It'd probably give Cole Palmer more freedom. No, he doesn't. That's not true. He just doesn't want to be there. But don't you get, he's outgrown the place. So, Corey, a good manager can rotate between both. That's the reality. A good fucking manager would be able to rotate between 2. So, like, realistically, you could still use Reece James in the midfield if you wanted to, if you played a 3-5, if you wanted to be really solid, and then you could play really attacking wingbacks. Fucking Garnacho is nearly a wingback, bro. He's like nearly a wingback. He's like, Neto, what do you think he is? A fucking wingback. like Neto is good, but you need him on the outside creating shit. The problem is you don't have the striker for it regardless. Like, the striker needs to be way more mobile, way more the build. He has to be the one stretching the back line, unfortunately. Like, that's the problem with the back. That's the problem with the back 5, is where you stretch the back line is from your wingbacks and your striker are the 2 players that normally are stretching the back line. But you guys don't realize it, and maybe I'll do a whole video on it, like on my own, and maybe we'll go through it on our own because I'm almost at 2 hours here. Glasner is actually more. You don't think of Glasner as a back five manager right now. You think of him as a back five manager, but I think if he came here, he probably would play back four. And it's only because of like the type of the wingers we have. I think he would play a back four. Yes, Mafia. Yes, me and you agree on actually a lot more than you realize, bro. That's the thing. That's the hilarious thing about me and you is like you just take getting rid of him over the top because until he shows me he can't do it in the Champions League, that's when I'll have my consensus. So like Mafia, like really, like I'm not that far off of where you are on like majority of the things that you feel like Maresca does. But he shows me in these games, these types of games normally, that he can be tactically flexible. It's the ones that he expects our players to take over that he's not being tactically flexible, and me and you get infuriated about it. But in the big games, he's very tactically flexible. It's a thing of he wants his style to be imposed, right, in a certain way. And even if it's tactically nullified, you should still be able to impose your style, a la Pep. But when it comes to that one-off game, he can switch it up and make sure he beats you. And like that's also true. That's also very true as well. I don't think he's going to change. I don't know if he is. I don't think that part of it is what he wants to change. Is the difference. I think that me and you are looking at it in a different way, and that's what I'm trying to say. I just don't think. I think you're looking at it in a way that he must go because of this, but I'm looking at it is he wants to impose his style. What he was brought and what he said to these owners, and you can look this up yourself, and the reason why he was brought in is because he wants to implement a style of play. Okay? And he's not necessarily worried about the team as much as what the style of play goes down to. If the style of play can be played. If certain things are not available to him to be able to play that style of play, you can't impose your will on teams. That's just nature of how squad building works. Like in anything. In basketball, it's the same way. We did basketball analogies earlier in the stream. Like you still need to impose your style of game on opponents that are not. If they can't meet to your standard, you should be able to impose your style of play. My problem is I don't think he has the players to be able to do that. Your problem is you think he should change. That's the difference of mindset behind it. Am I concerned? To an extent, Lucas. There is an extent to my of concern that I have. That's why I'm okay if we get to Zerbi. That's why I wouldn't mind if we ended up with Glasner. And I've looked into the future and said if these things happen, I'll be okay. But I just fear, part of my fear is who they would get after Maresca. That's part of my fear, right? That's my A1 part, okay? My second part of this is I don't believe the squad quality of the build itself is good enough. Now, some of it is, in my opinion, being rectified in a way that I don't agree with. And some of it is actually being rectified in the way that I know needs to be rectified. Like, for instance, like people don't believe we need a midfielder. But if we didn't need a midfielder, we wouldn't be playing Gusto in the midfield. Like, that's just reality. People don't want to grasp that part of it, but that's just the reality. When we come here and we sit here and we say, Santos up the pitch isn't as good as he is on the back end of the pitch. So you would rather have him kind of playing Caicedo's role rather than doing Enzo's role. So who else can do Enzo's role? Let me ask, can anyone answer that question? Who else in the squad can do Enzo's role? If we're going to dominate teams, right, we're going to impose our will, and Enzo Fernandez, that means Enzo Fernandez would have to play every game, right? So Lavia, okay, great. Lavia, great. Great answer to Corey. I agree. Thank you for answering my question to Corey. Thank you for answering my question to Corey. Thank you, bro. Thank you. So who could play in the position that Enzo plays in? The way that Enzo, even if Enzo doesn't play well, let's just say Enzo doesn't play well. Let's say Enzo is just not playing well. Let's just say that's the case. Let's just say that's the case. We gotta rely on this guy. Who, by the way, I'm gonna say this. I love this guy. I love him. I think he's brilliant. I think anytime I get to see Lavia play football, it's a gift because he's so good at what he does. Straight up, he should be benching the shit out of Enzo. With his quality, 100%. But we see him 3 weeks a season, 4 weeks a season. Do I want to get rid of Lavia? No. But this is the reality that people do not want to grasp. They do not want to grasp the reality. That's the thing. Enzo's role is a myth. He's be a bench player if Lavia is available. I agree. But he's never available. So even if we wanted to have him play that role, I would love to have him. I would love to. Mafia, I would love for him to start over Enzo. Don't get it twisted. Do it. Please. Please. Bro, like, do it. I love his quality. But bro's too injury prone. We need something. Because the only other something we're talking about here is Bueno Notte. Bueno Notte. And kudos to Bueno Notte for his assist the other day, but shit. Bueno Notte. Bro, that's what I'm saying. Santos is better defensively. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but you hate Maresca, but you love that he starts Lavia. Bro, honestly, Ator, that 8-10-year-old needs ball carrying, a little bit more ball carrying. Like if we had a ball carrier there, it would help us break teams down from allowing them to press us. Because a lot of the times what ends up happening is Enzo will get pressed in that spot and he'll have to either go wide very quickly or he'll have to go backwards. And people are cutting off that wide area now. So, like, Lavia has the ability to, obviously, like, beat a man on the press, turn, and be able to run. We actually need a better ball carrier in that spot. A better ball carrier in that spot would help us 100%. And it doesn't even necessarily have to be like a ball carrier that takes us into the box. Just a ball carrier that can get us out of that type of position. I watched Keith Smith. I think he's very good. I think he needs I don't know about his physicality, though. Like, I think he could get pushed around a little bit. Keith Smith looks really good. But once again, he doesn't have that Lavia type of build behind him. That's why I kind of like Kobe Mino in that spot. I think Kobe Mino in that spot would be very good for us. Just like being able to get us in between between the halfway line into too close to their box type of ground distance. I think there's a lot of players that we could have gotten for that role. Wharton's probably one of the best players we could get. I just don't believe we spend that much money on Wharton. Kovacic actually is a good example of that. That's really kind of what I'm saying, style of player that I would be looking for that. Yeah, Kovacic would be actually, to Corey, that's probably like the profile of player that I would be looking for per se. If I could get like a more physical version of Kovacic per se. It doesn't even have to be a goal scorer, but getting into the box would be helpful, especially if you can shoot. That's why I think having Kobe Minu in those half spaces, being able to pick up the ball and being able to just dribble, I think it would be a good fit. Personally, I think that actually the directors would be cooking with that one, in my opinion. That's the way I see it. Barco and Rogers. Rogers would be Rogers actually is a great example of this. Rogers would be a great example of this. I would love Rogers in this team after like just watching him. After watching him more, his ball striking just gives me the type of things that I need from my type of that type of position. That's where kind of like if we can get the thing is I think we can steal Kobe. Like I think Rodgers would cost us like $100 million. Start out like where Barco. I'm not opposed to Barco, right? Like I think Barco could play that role, but I just feel like you guys already hate him playing fullbacks. Like so many people complain about how many fullbacks he's playing in these spots. Like we're just going to get him another fullback, and like why did we get Hato if we're going to get Barco? Yeah, right. Like that's kind of the style player. Elliot Anderson's going to cost anybody a fortune, by the way. Just going to be real. That's just honesty. Anyone that wants Elliot Anderson is going to cost you a fortune. I'm about that free Mino life. He can come wear blue. I'm about that free Mino life. Yeah, bro, I'm good. I'm good. I'm just getting back into the YouTube thing. I'm not necessarily going to be doing like panels anymore. I'm just going to be on here doing my thing. Both are going to cost whoever buys. Those are the next 200 million pound midfielders in this league, by the way, because they're both English. They're both going to go for 100 million. Liverpool needs to get one of those guys. Liverpool and Manchester United need to get one of those two guys. If they don't get one of those two guys, they're going to be in deep shit. That's the reality, in my opinion. If we can get, I love Wharton. Bro, I believe Wharton is top 5 DLP, deep line playmakers in the world. Like, there's not that many of them. Like, his style of football and the way he moves the football, there's who else is in the market that are those style of players? I mean, bro, if you can scoop either Elliot Anderson and Wharton for around $70 million nowadays, you're getting a steal. That's fucking good money. That's good business, bro. That's good business. Wharton is the one. If Wharton is the one player, bro, Wharton's the one player that I believe would send Enzo Fernandez to fucking Real Madrid. That's how much I believe in this kid. That's how good I believe. That's how much I believe in this kid. Sander Berg's actually a good shout. Sander Berg's a good shout. Yeah, what is this? You know what, Mafia? You think we're going to sell Santos and Mafia this summer? You said blank check. I've just signed Tonali. Baleba. I think Kobe's gone in January, bro. Yeah, I know Kobe's totally different than that. Like, I know that. But I wouldn't mind a different style player in that position, personally. You don't think Santos is going to make it? I'm starting to believe you guys. I'm actually starting to believe you guys. I'm starting to actually believe that shit. That Santos ain't going to make it here. He's like 20, 21. I hear that. I actually hear that, though. I actually hear you guys. Like, last year, I didn't believe that because the Santos that I was watching was crazy good. But I could see them. I wouldn't be surprised if they got both them motherfuckers, bro. Dead ass. I really wouldn't be surprised if they ended up with Kobe and Wharton after this. I really wouldn't. Because I'm not too sure that Enzo Fernandez doesn't go to Real Madrid, bro. I'm not sure. Just depends on who their manager is next, because I don't think fucking Alonso makes it very, very much longer. I do. I think they will. I think they'll definitely get and they'll definitely spend that much money on Enzo Fernandez. Nah, you guys are just hating on Enzo Fernandez. I think Enzo Fernandez is actually really good. He just is being overplayed. People don't. Same with Correa. Correa's had a drop off in form recently because he's being overplayed. He played like 11 games in a row, and I blame Maresca for that. Bro, they could have gotten Stiller, but he didn't look. He didn't have the look. It's just the reality. Didn't have the Real Madrid look. They couldn't get that ugly motherfucker into Real Madrid. Stiller is a baller, though. Swap for who, though? I'm gonna roll one more spliff. We're gonna keep on talking. After this spliff, I'm done with you guys. I'm gonna be talking almost 2.5 hours. But I'm gonna be doing these streams like this a little more often. Exactly, bro. I mean, Vinny is already an ugly dude, bro. They couldn't have too many ugly dudes on that team, son. Enzo Fernandez is that's the reality, bro. You guys think that I'm joking, son. Look at that. Y'all think I'm joking. This is reality. They didn't sign Ronaldinho because he was the ugly motherfucker, son. That's just the reality. Like, Real Madrid's one of the zestiest clubs I've known to man. That's the funny part. They mad zesty. You gotta look a certain way. Said Luca got hate in his first year too. Remember Luca got hate for his nose. They went for Beckham. Remember Madrid got hate for his nose early in this season. Then he had to hoop to get himself into the team, son. You gotta actually hoop. If you an ugly dude, you gotta actually hoop, son. What we saying, chat? Bro. Bro, Higuain was hooping at that time. People don't remember. Benzema was on the bench during them days. It was them Jose days. It was rough for Di Maria for a bit. Then they got Bale. Fit the profile. And that long hair and shit. Well, definitely not Baleba. If I'm picking one, it's Wharton. Mafia. That's not even a question. If I'm picking one, I'm picking Wharton. But I respect Elliot Anderson's game. Don't get it twisted. I like what Elliot Anderson's doing this year. But I believe Wharton. Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that, Corey. I actually forgot about that. That's right. Yo, that's a good call out to Corey. I totally forgot about that shit. Yo, that's actually fire. Good shit to Corey. Yo, that's fucking hilarious, bro. Oh my god. Yo. There's no doubt about it. Vinny wouldn't get near the fucking Real Madrid team from back then, bro. Mafia, you actually want to know and you're gonna laugh at me because you know I'm a hater. But you want to know who the profile we need? We need Tijani Reinders. He's a ball carrier. You can win his one-on-one duel, ball carry, and pass off. He doesn't have to do anything else. He doesn't have to be a great type of. We need someone like that. Maybe someone a little bit better defensively. Realistically, Elliott's probably the best profile. Realistically. I just I don't trust him on the half turn like other people. And like if you're talking about best player in my opinion is Warren. In my opinion. Best player is Warren. You literally, bro, old school, OG RLC would be cold. OG RLC? Before the knee surgery? RLC? No, don't trust him on the half turn. I don't trust him on the half turn. Lavia is the profile I want. Truly. Lavia. That's the profile. Bro, people don't know about that shit. Yo, could you imagine if RLC never got the knee injury? Before the knee injury. RLC and Caicedo next to each other? Are you kidding? That guy? That version of RLC? Are you joking? Only Chelsea fan know. That version of RLC was disgusting. He was going to be Yaya Toure. That's what we all believed. We all believed we had Yaya Toure, son. That's that ass Mafia. We were there. We thought we had Yaya Toure, bro. We that ass thought we had Yaya Toure, bro. Yes, under Sarri. That's the one. We thought we had Yaya Toure, bro. Straight the fuck up. Like that's what we thought we had under that kid, bro. We just saw this giant of a 19-year-old, 20-year-old running through people. Kids, grown men were bouncing off of this kid. He was just being exactly. It was like we thought we had Yaya. We had. Could you imagine? Like Bro. He was 19, 6'3", could dribble. He was what Morgan Rogers is right now. He was like you guys like Morgan Rogers. He's like what Morgan Rogers was, but he could defend better. He could actually defend. He was ripping the ball off people in the fucking midfield. Yeah, we had it was more Yaya than Pogba. Pogba's more like passing range and shit. Yo, are you kidding? Are you kidding? Are you kidding? Chelsea blew AA1. Are you kidding? That shit would have been nutty. Like, big up casually. Let me see if I remember how to send you guys places. If there's anyone live right now. Is Northside really live right now? Well, we'll send you to Northside after this spliff. Bro, could you imagine RLC next to Caicedo? Oh, man. Some of these, bro. It was an Achilles, not a knee. You're right. I think I said knee. I mean, we produced Josh, and you like Josh so much. And Reece James, we produced that. You're complaining about I can't believe you're still complaining about Mount and Gallagher, bro. Fucking they're gone, bro. Get over it. There's a couple good kids in this academy. They're wingers. Most of them are wingers. We bought that Deary kid, but he's in our academy right now. That kid's pretty good. Yeah, Rabaj, bro. Yo, Rabaj actually cooking, son. But Lucas, we don't know that yet. That's just the thing. We just don't know. We don't know nothing. Like, these kids are so young. There's the McQueen kid, Mavuma McQueen. That kid looks good too. That Mavuma McQueen kid. Yeah, McQueen, yeah. He looks good. That McQueen kid looks cold. Every time I've watched him, he looks like a baller. The kid looks like a goddamn baller. Shim's going to end up at, like, Sunderland, bro. Shim's going to end up at, like, Sunderland, and he's going to be just fine. He's going to, like, score, like, fucking 15 goals a season for Sunderland. Like, that's the type of move he'll end up. Chat, what are we saying? Who's this guy? I don't know who he's talking about. Yeah, Rabaj is like the little 19-year-old. Yo, I guess he has like a ridiculous goal scoring record in like the U16s and shit. Like he scored like 100 goals or some shit in the U16s. Oh, he came back already to Corey. Samuel Ish Smith, he came back and he went to Swansea, I think. God damn. I did not know that. That's awesome. That's awesome. Maybe that's why they're not buying a center back, because they got a lot of fucking talent. It just pains us right now. It gives us pain right now. Yeah, but they don't listen to Professor fucking Joe. They don't watch this stream. If you guys were watching this stream fucking during the summer, I was telling you guys how good Ekitike was when we were originally linked with dude. Oh, that was Murray Campbell. I've seen that name, actually. I remember that name. You think Shim goes to Strasbourg? I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, people keep on telling me, I got boys that watch Dortmund. They tell me how good this kid is every time he plays, but he just keeps getting injured. Oh, Taj, we could get our money back on Delap. Don't worry, bro. We could get our money back on Delap. That's not a worry, bro. We could just send him. It wouldn't be from Ipswich, but we can get our money back. 30 million is not a problem. People pay 30 million for a white. People will pay 30 million for a 20-something-year-old white fucking striker that has Premier League heritage. Some of them, they will pay 30 million, bro. I guarantee it. Takori, I don't like prepping for people's downfalls. We just have to prep for our own uptake. That ship has sailed at this point, bro. In my opinion, that's the reality. They probably should have got, like I said, we needed Hugo Ekitike, they needed João Pedro. That way they didn't spend that much on a fucking striker outside of a striker outside of Isak. So they don't look like assholes spending 200 million on two strikers. That's just the reality. But I'm sending y'all the fucking north side. I'll see you guys. I probably might go live tomorrow. So this was fun. We might just do a Chelsea chat tomorrow. Chelsea chat, maybe do some scouting talk. Talking some news, talking about some other players that we can enjoy, potentially look at. I think that might be fun. Might do a scouting show. We'll call Steve. See if Steve's out and about. And we'll do a scouting show. But I'm sending you guys over to the north side. Let them know Rob's raid. Adios, people. We'll see you tomorrow. I'll be on FIFA.